to this edition of the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the old ragtag, I don't know, studio above my garage. So glad you are here. And wow, what a weekend for food. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I wonder what he's going to start out with. There's some obvious things that, you know, and when you think I'm going to zig, I'm going to zag. I have been like, now the family dinner on Sundays has turned into like a 2-day affair, it seems. At least the last couple of weeks. Now, it's not like we're eating for 2 days. It's just in order to make the meal, I have to prepare for 2 days. A week before, I had to make that rice and get it in the fridge for, you know, an overnight in order to make appropriate fried rice. You can't just go make the rice and then throw it in the fryer, for God's sake, or in the wok. No! Same thing, because I set out to make something because I saw a commercial. Pizza Hut is selling some new type of thing. They call it the, I don't know, some type of calzone recipe, but they're actually calling it calzone. 4-corner calzone. Of course, it's a calzone, a pizza pocket. I said, you know what? I want to make those. Never made a calzone in my life. And then the recipe says, look, there is a, by the way, Amanda says, that's Little Caesars and it's really good. Yeah, it's been out for like a day. And of course you've had it 4 times. You just revealed your hand already. I don't know if it's a great thing for you to be commenting on food right now. After the week you had last week. I might think ahead and say, oh, I heard that's good, but I've been behaving, so I haven't pigged out on it. Okay, I see that. And then the recipe says, look, you can just go ahead and buy your pizza dough. You don't have to, like, make it. I said, fuck that. I want to make the pizza dough. Never done this in my life, ever. I take it back. I had made dough once before, and it was horrible. So there I am the day before. And, you know, you do the old flour, a little bit of salt, water. The way they do it is you take 3.5 cups of flour, and then in a bowl, and then you make like so it's like a volcano almost. You like make an opening. And then in another bowl, you have water, honey, salt, and stir it, and then you sprinkle fucking yeast on it. Active dry yeast. And then you pour it into that opening, and then you mix it all up, and then you kind of start kneading it. I got like gloves on, and I make this dough ball for like a couple minutes, and then it says, all right, you're done. Cover it and let it rise. Rise. So I did that a couple times. Got these 2 big fucking dough balls, and then they rise, double in size, throw it in the fridge. Actually, before I threw it in the fridge, I rolled out 6, what do you call it? Calzone crusts, I guess. Yes. But they didn't like to roll out too much. For some reason, they were like, no, we don't. We want to bounce back a little. I put 6 individual crusts in the fridge in parchment paper. When it's time to make them the next day, I pull them out and I let them sit at room temperature. I figured that this is a good idea. It didn't. Now the recipe did not tell me to do that. It's the intuitive slaughter the Turks recipe mentality. When you're taking a recipe and you're making it your own. So I let it get to room temperature and then rolled those fucking things out. Now, you're supposed to put pizza sauce in them. Homemade pizza sauce. Yes. I swear to God, I will put the links in the show notes for not only the calzones, but for the pizza dough or the crust and the homemade sauce that goes with it, which really is just crushed tomatoes, garlic, salt, olive oil, pulsed in a blender. But okay, so then I had like all the toppings ready to go: cheeses, meats, Italian sausage, salami, pepperoni, green peppers, olives, mushrooms, artichokes. Dinah wanted artichokes. Queen of the Forest. She said I'm big on the artichokes. And this is, I'm not kidding you, this is how it looks in the recipe, but that's how it looked when they got out of the oven. Are you kidding me? Is that not fantastic? Right now, Amanda is eating the monitor, or she's eating the phone. Son of a bitch. Holy shit. Huge success. Incredible. I am so stoked. We are adding the Eric Zane Show podcast, Slaughter the Turks Calzones. Jacqueline says to me, she goes, you need to open a restaurant. You just need to open it. And she goes, and it needs to be just random shit. So I thought about this. This is what the Eric Zane Show podcast restaurant would be. The sign would say Eric Zane Show podcast, and then Slaughter the Turks. And then this portion of the sign would change quite often. Calzones, sweet and sour chicken with fried rice, spaghetti and meatballs, hamburgers, doesn't matter. So we only make one thing at the restaurant when the sign has the appropriate, that's the menu. So it could say calzones. That's the only thing I'm making at the restaurant until I decide to change. I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a week, maybe a month. And then we just change over the ingredients that we're making in the restaurant, and we make the next thing. This week, this month, it's sweet and sour chicken. So as I experiment with the recipes and become an absolute expert at them, that's what I do. It's the dumbest idea ever. Would never work. But that was, okay, so that started Saturday. And then between making the dough and we had an early dinner, that was a good portion of my weekend. And that's just the way I like it. Just the way I like it. And when I was getting the ingredients ready, the Lions came on. Oh, my God. I had a bad feeling about this game. I think I had voiced on this show that they were going to lose. I was not confident. I just thought, this seems like the type of game where their hammer is going to fall. I don't think, okay, earlier in the year, the Lions hammered the Green Bay Packers. I mean, brutally. What happened to the Packers in that game was nothing compared to what happened to the Lions yesterday. My God, that was so one-sided that I cannot believe that Baltimore has lost any games this year. That was so fucked up. That's remarkable to me that a team like the Lions can perform at such a high level and then perform so brutally. And then a team like Baltimore, who's good, well, they're better than the Lions, that's for damn sure. But going into the game, they had lost a couple. After seeing the Lions perform in that game yesterday, I'm like, how have they won any games? And if you're looking at Baltimore, you're like, how have they lost any games? It's really odd to me how quickly things can turn for a football team. How you can be kind of humming along and then you just get brutalized like that. I've never seen anything like that. And that, from a guy who's watched a lot of Lions over the years, I'd be like, the amount of times that I've said, I've never seen that before. You'd think that I'd run out of scenarios where, well, I've definitely seen that before. I have never seen that before. In the years that the Lions have been shitty, like this year they've been good. In the years that they were shitty, like when they opened up 0-16, or when they had the 0-16 year, I don't remember anything like this. The Ravens had 28 points before the Lions had a first down. I mean, it was just one after the other after the other. So the Ravens get the ball, march down the field, score. Lions get the ball, 3 downs, punt. Ravens get the ball, score. Lions, 3 downs, punt. That happened 4 fucking times. So the Lions scored, I think, 7 or 6 in that game. The offense basically, the game-winning touchdown for the Ravens the second touchdown by the Ravens, which is like 5 minutes into the game, was the game-winning score. I think a lot of people did this, but when it got to be 14-0 and the Lions were punting again, I actually said, well, fuck this. I'm going to go take a walk. And I just left. I said, I'm not watching this. It was horrific. It's almost like the Ravens and the Ravens fans had, it's like they were ready. Like the other teams got caught off guard on the road, and all these Lions fans show up, like 10,000 of them. And that happened yesterday. A ton of Lions fans were there. But the way it usually goes is then the Lions will win the game and the fans will rush down close to the front row after all the Ravens fans leave to kind of chant, "Let's go Lions." But, holy fucking shit. Can you imagine if you spent all that cash to go to Baltimore to see them play? And then that's the type of brutalization that happens? Wow. Maureen says, I was listening to the postgame on the radio, and the announcer said some will suggest the Lions team is fraudulent. Big frauds. Tyler says, I forgot the game started. I checked the score. It was 21-0. I didn't even bother turning it on. Joe Pellerito says, Baltimore looked like they were just playing around. Kent dropped the E out of use. Says, how about the Red Wings? Red Wings have won 5 in a row, and they scored 6 goals yesterday. DeBrincat had a hat trick. Between Michigan State's offense and the Lions' offense, the Red Wings, a hockey team, scored as many points. Their offense scored as much. They had as many points as the Michigan State and Lions offenses combined. It took me a long time to spit that out. Darla! No. Do not lick his head. Imagine if you just went up and started licking your brother's head. Hold on. Darla! Come here. Okay. So that was just so ridiculous, man. I don't really have anything to bitch about. I don't want to start the show with complaining about it. I mean, it was quite magnificent in a bad way in its scope. The fact that just like that, it's 28-0. I see Joe Martinez is here. And when the Lions got down early, she actually said out loud in the house, she goes, so help me God, if I see anybody say same old Lions or typical Lions, she goes, I'm going to kick their ass. So I made a post about how Lamar Jackson was, is that his name, Lamar Jackson? Lamar Latrell? Lamar. how great he was. And Joe Martinez says, the true Lions are showing up. And that pissed Diana off. You're in trouble now, Joe. She says, okay, Mr. Fairweather fan, with angry emoji. You got angry face emoji. Let me tell you, as the recipient of angry face emoji, she means that. And then Joe writes, Thanksgiving. Not convinced till that time. I guess he's put on some date on the calendar. He says either they start out good and falter after Thanksgiving, or they start slow and pick it up. So even though they're playing well, they have not convinced me yet. They are the Lions. Oh, way to go. You got her in a bad mood with that one. Thanks, jerk. Fuck. Joe writes, the Ravens at one point had over 230 yards of offense, and the Lions had 6 yards when the Lions finally had a first down. That's got to be some type of record. Tyler says they need to bounce back next Monday. If this starts a tailspin, then shit will hit the fan with that team. Yeah, we are on a very, very fine line right now, the Lions. We're on a razor's edge. It could all come crashing down. Kent says, thanks to Joe, Eric couldn't try his new moves because she was so pissed. Oh, my God. Maureen asks if she called him a cockhead. Joe Martinez says she can't be mad. I got the heat back on. Yeah, let's get into that. By the way, there's an extra chapter to that story, Joe Martinez. For you audience members who don't have the Patreon, this will be new to you. But for those of you on Patreon, I told this story on Friday because I did the free podcast. Joe came in here and we had a hilariously fun time. That was great. Everybody loves Joe. He comes over here to get that heat going I have downstairs. It's got an old school dial thermostat, Honeywell. It's just heat. All it does is it calls for heat. Two wires. And when I thought my problem was that thermostat, I thought it was malfunctioning because I couldn't get the heat to come on. And it's the type of heat where it's just hot water goes through a pipe down at the baseboard all the way around the room, and it's a radiator essentially. And this little thermostat, it just calls for hot water. That's all it does, and then over time the room gets warmer. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. And so it's not working. So I go, oh, well, it's got to be this thermostat. It's fucked up. So I take it off. I take the wires out, and I buy the identical one, but it's not analog. It's a little bit more complex, but it's still 2 wires. Now, I read the instructions, and it says, do not make sure, it said on it, make sure that you unhook the old one wire at a time and put it into the corresponding spot on the new one. They like you to do that so you don't fuck it up. They make it idiot-proof. Again, 2 wires. And then it says, because on the new thermostat, there's a R and a W and a Y. Not sure what that means. Some would suggest it's red, white, yellow. But I don't think, because on the instructions, it says the wires coming out of your wall, don't hook them up to the new thermostat based on their color. Now, my 2 wires are red and white, and on the new thermostat, it says RWY. However, I don't have the luxury of knowing what they were hooked up to on the old thermostat because I've already taken it off the wall and not paid attention to that. So I'm not sure where they go. Before Joe came over to my house a couple days before, I go, hey, I got this thermostat. And I explained to him what I just explained to you. He goes, yes, but typically the red would go in the R, and the white would go in the W. I go, all right, I'm going to do that. I hook it up, put it on the wall. Day later, no heat. I go, all right. So I switched them. I put the white in the R and the red in the W. Nothing. Called Joe. Okay, I'll be there Friday. You know what happened. He came here. He was hilarious. Then he went downstairs, and I was sitting here, not podcasting, doing boring work. And he can't figure out what the fuck's going on. He's down there for a few minutes. Then he writes this text. Dude, why the hell did you have the valve off? I'm like, what? I rush downstairs, and there's a hot water pipe that he's discovered. He's starting to, he's looking in all sorts of places trying to find the answer, and he's following pipes up in the rafters of the basement that come out of the area where he's basically just watching pipes like a fucking, connect the dots. And he's following a hot pipe up to one area, and there's a valve off. And it says on the valve, it's like written in marker, for the love of God, never, ever turn this off or something like that. And it's off. So he turns it on. And then he instead of having the thermostat on, he has what he describes as he's hot wired it. So it's always on. And he's, working backwards trying to find the source of the issue. Immediately the pipe starts getting hot inside of this room. So basically Joe came to the house to turn the valve on. And he goes, why the fuck did you have that off? And I go, well, I can't say for sure because it's been off for some time, but there was a time when I was having an issue with a leaky pipe, and I probably just started turning things. So now it's on. Pipe immediately pipes around the baseboard and immediately start warming up. I go, oh, you fixed it. He goes, yeah, he swears at me in Spanish. Then he takes the thermostat, and I watched him do this. And he takes the red wire and he puts it where it says R. And he takes the white wire and puts it in the thermostat where it says W and puts it back on the wall. I'm done. I go, dude, thank you. That's it. He leaves. I go downstairs. Hours later, pipes are cold. He doesn't know this. I'm telling him this for the first time right now. Pipes are cold. So what's happened? When it was hot wired, meaning those two wires sticking out of the wall were just touching each other, which is what he did, which made it call for heat all the time, pipes started getting warm. He unhooks them, puts the red in the R and the white in the W, puts it on the wall, no longer calling for heat. What happened? So I managed to figure out that it's the other way around. It has to be. I take the thermostat off the wall, remove the red wire from the R, and put it in the W, remove the white wire and put it in the R, and I put it back on the wall. And the second I put it on the wall, it went click. I could hear it. It went click. It made a click. I heard it. It's working. I know it is. So I'm like, okay. Takes a fucking village. All right? I can't complain about Joe. He did what he should have done. Plus, he turned that valve. I would have been looking around that basement for an eon. Later on, I go back down there. It's fucking warm. I'm like, yes, we did it. We did it. Mitch says, Joe, how does that make you feel? Swear at him more in Spanish and teach us. Maybe I should get fuckface in here right now. He's probably on a trip somewhere. All right. Mm-hmm. Hey, did you hear that story?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, I had to pull the wires and switch them around.
No, it doesn't matter.
I'm telling you, I was getting no heat.
I think it's because, I didn't check on the zone board. I don't know how it was wired in the zone board.
Well, who cares?
Well, because you got to wire it the same way.
Well, I know, but when you put it on the thermostat and put it on the wall, hours later, room's cold.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that whoever wired your zone board, you have to have it the same way at your zone board at the thermostat. So, yeah, basically, whatever, it's supposed to be red to red and white to white.
I know. Yeah, typically. But
yeah, typically that's how it goes. But
yeah, so basically, I did more to repair it than you did.
Bullshit. I walked around that damn basement looking for the freaking pipe to figure out how and not only that, but damn, I guess because you haven't been down there in a couple of years because you've been redoing it or whatever, because that water leak was like a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you haven't used it.
No, I haven't. But I'm getting ready to use it now. You can't, you asshole.
But who goes and shuts the damn water off?
What the fuck? You can't just say, fuck, you're not using the room. It's a bunch of bullshit.
That's bull crap, man. You don't want me to go off on your Spanish just like the Lions. See, what did I tell you about the Lions? See?
Hey, you pissed her off. You pissed her off bad. You were the guy. She was like, that fucking Joe Martinez, God damn it.
It's all right. When she sees me, she'll forget all about it.
Oh yeah.
She'll see my sweet face and everything. She'll just get all hot and bothered, and then she'll just.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! I gotta go. All right, I'll talk to you. Get out of here, you stupid idiot. Yeah. Fucking. Nick says that doesn't matter. All the thermostat does is connect the two wires together. Okay, so look. Nick, does this make sense? When he had red wire into the R on the thermostat and the white wire on the W, it wasn't calling for heat. The room was cold. The pipes did not warm up. You're an electrician. You know this shit. I pulled the thermostat off and switched them. Then it clicks. Now the room is heating. Okay? Does that it does matter where they go into the thermostat, right? I mean, I was the one. Joe is the one with years of experience, and he put it all back together. I'm just kidding him. He's probably going to get pissed off and kick my ass. Aram says, let's just agree that both Joe and Eric were a little at fault. I don't think Joe was at fault. Like I said. Joe says, actually, it probably wasn't all the way on. Look, are you going to make me go down there and switch the wires again so that the room can get cold? Do I have to do like a YouTube video of this? Look, occasionally a blind squirrel finds a nut. All right? And that is me. Can't you just let me have the win? What's the big deal? What the fuck, you stubborn Mexicans? That's what this is. This is all because of your heritage. My God. Okay, now he's accusing me of not having it snapped on right. It was snapped on right. Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm not. He says, leave it alone. Don't touch a damn thing. You'll probably break it. I did nothing wrong. Corey says, build the wall. Yeah, I take it back. No more open borders. Closed borders. Totally kidding. I sound like Freeber. I'm just kidding. Oh, my God. I have gotten so much shit. Okay, this tells me I'm doing something right. For the first 7 episodes of Who Are These Free Beers, it's been pretty quiet from fans of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show about it. Occasionally somebody will insult me or say something horrible. But this particular episode has drawn the ire of some people who are making it a good portion of their day to send out fire off a tweet or a post or some shit or something on Reddit to put me in my place. If you remember Patrick, he had posted this on Reddit. This stupid he always posts these really horrible photoshops that have something to do to promote Fraudulent Wednesdays or Fraudulent Thursdays or whatever the hell. Fraudulent Thursday, Who Are These Free Beers? And he made a box of Rice Krispies to be called Kelly's Crispy R's with various unflattering pictures of her just doing something dumb and hilarious to promote Fraudulent Thursdays. Well, somebody didn't like that. Eric is just sad he's not on a syndicated morning show anymore. He pretends he likes podcasting better, but he's just resigned to his current fate. If a syndicated radio show called him up tomorrow to offer him a full-time job, he would take it. Hold on. Let me start over. Eric is just sad that he's not on a syndicated morning show anymore. No, I'm not sad. I don't pretend to like podcasting better. I'd like to be doing both, frankly. I love doing radio. Then this person writes, if a syndicated radio show called him up tomorrow to offer him a full-time job, he would take it. Probably. As long as I can keep podcasting. This person writes, unfortunately, I will never be able to prove this because that phone call will never come. Probably true. In fact, that's true. Freeburn Hot Wings lives rent-free in his mind, and Eric thinks he's being edgy and witty by shitting on them. That's not true at all. Well, the first part is, absolutely they live rent-free in my mind because I want to do hilarious things to make fun of them, and I'm always thinking about those things, like listening to their show, which is all I have to do. Frankly, if that show wasn't shitty, I wouldn't have anything to podcast about. So I am hoping they stay on their current path, which I think they will because, quote unquote, hey, our ratings are higher than they've ever been. So who gives a shit? Eric actually comes off whiny and disgruntled. Maybe a little. Freeburn Hot Wings may be different. I love this. Freeburn Hot Wings may be different and less exciting to some these days. Wait a minute. You can't attack me for making fun of them for being boring and stupid and pointless and then say that they're boring, stupid, and pointless. Then this person says, but the ratings don't lie. No, they don't. And I'm glad that they don't, and I'm glad that they're there. Again, that ensures that we have more episodes of Who Are These Free Beers? They're doing just fine. Granted, Greg and Chris are. Again, those are the rich guys on the show. The rest are being raped. Even if they weren't, so what? Eric doesn't work there anymore. Who else do you know who complains about a job they had 6 years ago? Actually, it's closer to 8 years ago. Patrick jumps in. He says, it's not a complaint. It's a review show. I love Freeburn Hot Wings for 16, 17 years. Don't forget, Patrick only got on board with this show about 8 months ago. He was listening to that show for fucking ever and then finally said, what the fuck am I doing? For 16, 17 years and started listening to Zane in April. After finally having enough, Zane's been a breath of fresh air. Freeburn Hot Wings show lie about their affiliates. They claim to have over 50 when that's not true. So why would you or anyone else believe them when they claim to have a 30 share? Well, I'm pretty sure they do have a 30 share. They had a 1-year deal in Las Vegas. That I don't know. I don't know where Patrick gets all this shit. And Vegas has paid them for 6 months to not be on the air because of how bad they are. Patrick seems to like know shit. He then adds, I'm not a fan of dishwasher advice and candle talk. Patrick adds, Steve has no business being in front of a microphone. And then he throws a bunch of accolades my way. Thank you. Then he adds, Freeburn Hot Wings show so bad it's fun to listen to someone call them out on their lack of effort and lack of talent. Check out the Freeburn Hot Wings show Reddit, and their fans agree with me. Then he says something nice about me that's embarrassing. Thank you. Let's turn to the video of getting my stupid haircut. I was out and about at King's Room Barbershop, the grand opening, the other day, on Friday, which you need to go there. Oh, my God. Such great people. Very, very kind. Colleen and Andy. Now, this is Easy, your old pal Easy. After the haircut was complete, oh, my God. Styled and looking fucking fine. Look at that. Instant boner, girls.
Zach in the background trying to get out of the shot. That's Andy and Colleen's nephew. What's your synopsis of this haircut? I think it's fantastic. I love it. What were some of the problems you noticed with...
Sarah said, that looks like Pellerito, a skinny Pellerito with a beard.
Me cutting my own hair.
Just a little bit of the blend work and the detail work, the fine points.
Right, and that makes all the difference.
Yes.
Makes all the difference. Because really, you didn't take a lot off. You cleaned up the sides quite a bit.
Yes.
And you made it look fantastic. And I'm supposed to put pomade in it, I'm learning.
Correct.
Which I can get here at King's Room Barbershop.
He gave me that shit, and we put it in the hair. And this is on Friday. And, of course, I didn't bathe again until last night. Well, no, this was on Thursday, right? Was this Thursday or Friday? No, it was Friday. And fucking that shit works.
Correct.
In Wyoming. You guys are going to be with us all this weekend. So people can come and see, and I'll be around.
It's just me giving the details of the event, their grand opening. Please get your hair cut at King's Room Barbershop, dudes. And I said to him, I go, hey, can ladies get their hair cut here? And he says, well, only if they get their hair cut like a dude. Oh, okay. So ladies, let's say Lisa Kranz. If she wants to get her hair cut like Easy, which wouldn't surprise me, she can march in there and say, look, I want to change it up. I'm going from the Kranz to the Easy. Tyler says, Pellerito pulls off his fake beard and yells, surprise, motherfucker.
I'm a 50-year-old man doing what a 50-year-old man should.
Comment earlier by Megan about Darla, who was asleep after a vicious play round with Bruce. I bet Darla smells so yummy. I don't, you got to remember, maybe this will kind of center you a little bit. If Darla gets the opportunity to eat her own feces, she's going to do that. So I think we got to, I understand she might look it, but, and she doesn't stink, but just, I mean, keep that in mind. She will, without hesitation, eat up her own squash. Without a doubt. All right. Plenty more to get to on the show today. Let's see. I don't even know if I'm on. Am I on? I think I'm on. I think I just shut it all off again. God knows, I don't know. This is how it's going to be today. I'm basically just going to continue to screw up the show. Well, anyway. By the way, the live stream of this show is brought to you by Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. Reach out to Frank when it comes time to getting that health care coverage that you may need through healthcare.gov, the marketplace. All right, don't hesitate to reach out to Frank at buyinsurancehere.com, B-U-Y insurancehere.com. Thank you to Frank. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. 616-532-6600. If you want to get your car repaired right the first time, take it to Irvine's. ervines.com. That's ervines.com. Amazing folks. Local, lady, veteran owned. 616-532-6600. But they're not the type of veterans who like tell you, hey, guess what? I'm a veteran. You know, only a select person can, you know, a few people will actually go out of their way to tell you that they're a veteran. Hey, guess what? What? It's Monday and I'm a veteran. Okay, cool. I mean, I love my veterans. I really do. But to me, there's something suspicious when someone just comes up to you and says, hey, guess what? I'm a veteran. That happens from time to time.
Hi, my name is Kristen Megan Kelly. I'm a veteran, and I'm a veteran. I believe I've called and left a message earlier today. I'm a veteran. I'm just trying to get some feedback from whoever would be in charge. I'm a veteran in making the decision to sponsor the Eric Zane podcast. I'm a veteran. I am the mother. I'm a veteran of a child that he spoke about on his podcast. I'm a veteran in a sexual manner. I'm a veteran, including sex acts that he wants my veteran to perform. I've had the sheriff involved. Several sponsors have already backed out.
Hey, I want your daughter to perform sex acts.
And I'm a veteran. I believe in nonviolent free market solutions. I'm a veteran.
Hey, man. How you doing? Hey, how old's your daughter? What, she's 7? Yeah, man, I want to see some sex acts.
Veteran, so I greatly support free speech. I'm a veteran, but this is not protected speech. I'm a veteran when discussing sexual acts of a veteran. I'm a veteran. It was an attack on me and my family, and I'm a veteran. It's one thing to have an opinion of adults, but again, it's not protected speech to speak sexually about a 7-year-old girl.
Even the ones that want them to do sex acts? Isn't that what I did?
I'm a veteran. If you would like to see the evidence, and I have seen on social media someone is messaging people to not talk about it. I'm a veteran, but they want your business to know that your name is slapped behind the screen when he's saying these things. I'm a veteran. You can call me if you'd like. My number is area code 405.
405 694 834.
I'm a veteran.
And then the last one's
really
bleeped out.
To know if your business supports
I don't want to dox her.
rhetoric. Area code 405 694 834.
34, please.
I'm a veteran, and I'm a veteran. I would just like to hear back from you. Thank you very much for your understanding and your time. I'm a veteran. Thanks.
Ottawa County is going to fire that health director, Adeline Hambley, tomorrow. It was a terrific article I reposted from the Washington Post about this. The effects of this and how this is all like payback. Payback because your stupid fucking kid had to wear a mask. Unbelievable. Unless she's successful in getting something to do in the court today, I believe, in federal court, some type of injunction. I don't know. Ryan says, we do not dox on this show. Good move. That would be terrible. Hey, did you guys know that Kenney's having trouble with his Twitch account? I mean, he can get you caught up to speed because he's given you the entire story 15 separate times on the chat. I don't know who talks more, gets fixated more on one thing. Amanda, Kenney, not to connect you two. Or who else gets fixated on stuff on the show and then just does? Okay, we got Jimmy. He does Taylor Swift's makeup. So Kenny's having trouble with Twitch. Jimmy put on Taylor Swift's makeup, and Amanda sells dildos. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know it, but Kenney is having a problem subscribing because there's something wrong. Just go back in the history of the chat, and you'll get... He says, dude, Prime sub not working is kind of a big deal with how many... I know that. My point is, you've said it 1,000 times on here. We know. Everyone knows. Why does everyone have to know every particular thing that's going on? That's what I'm curious about. Everybody on here, the second the show started, you were talking about how you can't get your Prime subscription work. So just like I had my problem with my audio. But I don't just sit there and talk about it. I go and I fucking fix it. I guess my only point is, we get it. You're having a problem. But talking about it's not going to fix anything. Good luck. I know you're going to get it right eventually, but it's okay. We don't need to clutter up the chat with 8 million messages about how Twitch is making you sad today. You know? Florida man says Kenney is going to take his $6 and make sure you never lie to his ears again. I didn't do anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm just telling him I get it. You're having a problem with Twitch. It's gonna be okay. You know, size of the problem, Kenney. Size of the problem. This is what Diana tells me. Like when there's something little that happens, and then I go, rah, rah, and I lose my shit. She goes, okay, breathe. Size of the problem. And what she means by that, Kenney, is if my reaction is inappropriate to what has occurred, that's not good. And since you're running around the house, stomping around, throwing things in the air, having a panic attack, typing 8 million messages on the chat that you can't, I mean, what the fuck? Aram says just set the number of ads to 0. Problem solved. Well, I don't have that power. I'm not the one making that decision. Kenney tells us I should be able to reuse it today. Kenney, I know all this. I know all this because you've been talking about it for 1 hour and 16 minutes. Yeah, I know. November 22. I saw it 800 times earlier on this show. My only point is, first of all, that sucks. And I'm sorry you're going through that. I really am. I can't explain it. I can't explain. I think it's love. Try to say to you when I feel blue, but I can't explain. Can't explain. But it'll get figured out. You said that Twitch was helping you. I get you. My only point is, if everybody on the chat did what you did and take these little teeny tiny little dust ups, and told us the story over and 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 over again, it's a little much. That's all I'm suggesting. It's nothing personal. It's just, I get it. Just be cool. Relax. going to be fine. This is what I mean. This is how you do this. You tend to push yourself on the show in a particular way. You know? You just come on so strong with all of your problems come out in the chat. And it's like, easy, big guy. Easy. Take it easy. It's going to be okay. You don't need to be so wound up about these things. Now, look, 3 minutes have passed. Maybe you should tell me again that Twitch was supposed to be renewed on October 22nd, but now it says November 22nd. And you're all frantic. I know. You said it an hour and 18 minutes ago. He says, okay, if anyone else has an issue with their Prime sub, do not mention it in chat. Obviously, it's a new rule. No, that's not what I said. Once is fine. But do we really need to tell us do you really need to tell us 800 times that you can't subscribe? Ryan says this happened to me last month. I got the same shit. Well, Ryan, did you tell us 800 times in the chat that you're having a problem? Or did you just basically say, I'm probably going to get it taken care of? It's going to work itself out. I'll figure it out. Instead of bothering us over and over with the same goddamn thing. See, Kenny doesn't understand that I'm just bitching about him going on and on and on. That's all. Ryan says, no, I didn't. He says, no, I was childish. I complained enough that you called me out and Hurricane bought me a sub. Is that what you did? Well, then you deserved it too. All right. Well, good luck to you. Florida man says Kenney needs to threaten them with either violence or a 1-star review. Blue State Rob says, I do the same when chili bragging camp happens. I'm not sure what that means. I think Kenney should just be a co-host on the show. Because I think it would be fun here to just look him in the face and say, hey, buddy, let's quit complaining about your Prime sub. Just deal with it. It's going to work out. Tomorrow will be another day, and it'll be the sun's going to rise. We got to breathe. It's going to be okay. There was some hilarity at the MSU football game. Now, last year, Michigan State University lost the game 29-7 to Michigan. This year, they got beaten 49-0. Last year, they lost 29-7, and then that was the moment where when the teams were leaving the field, for some reason, the players leave in the same tunnel, and then they go to their respective locker rooms. Somebody got pissed off and took his helmet off and started bashing some guy from Michigan. So all the Spartans start to assault. And if you're Michigan State, that's what you do, you know. This is a school that loves rape. So this is all hashtag on brand. For some reason, Maureen and Linda love this school. Like when Larry Nassar raped all of those, he raped every student at the school. That had to have that had to have hurt Maureen and Linda because they love MSU. And I'm like, come on, seriously, how can you support a school that supports rape? And then the whole business of Mel Tucker. God damn. Numerous MSU football players over the years and athletes in general have been purveyors of assault on women. Horrible, horrible school. And the helmet swinging incident. Then you got Mel Tucker pounding his pud when he's on the phone with a lady who's trying to teach the football players not to rape people. He gets fired. Team gets hammered for the rest of the year. They don't win a goddamn game. Losing again 49-0 to Michigan. What an ass kicking. The fact that Michigan went ahead and scored a touchdown with like 1 second left. They gave the ball to a guy whose last name is Orgy. And Orgy scored a touchdown. The fans were chanting, Orgy, Orgy. Megan says the spray-painted sheets hanging from the houses were fantastic. My favorite was Wolverine's skip foreplay. My kid asked me what it meant. But this game, not only did they lose 49-0, but just as the game was getting started, they were rolling on the big board like a quiz. Like the kind of thing you'll see in a bar. Quiz time. What nation is known as Down Under? And then they'll give you all these. And then one is Australia. You would have gotten that right on quiz time. So what someone did was someone who works for MSU went ahead and they wanted to keep the fans entertained, by rolling quiz time. So they just go online to like somebody's YouTube channel that does these quizzes, and it's a video. It's this. Now that's kind of risky business because you never know what you're going to get. But I mean, I guess you would think that, it's just a quiz. I mean, how risky can it be? Well, this is MSU we're dealing with. So the question was, what country was Adolf Hitler from? And the correct answer is Austria. And there he is. There's the guy who murdered millions of Jews. This is about, 60 miles away from earlier in the day. A lady who is like a rabbi at the synagogue was murdered in cold blood in Detroit. Of course this happens to the Spartans. This piece of shit school can't get out of their own fucking way. Of course Adolf Hitler's on the big board smiling like an asshole. My God. All right. So that's there. And I guess I don't think that this should be a problem, really. It's just so typical of the Spartans. They can't do anything now without them being under a microscope. So the fact that the quiz plays and it shows Adolf Hitler, I think it's a problem when the school then goes ahead and suspends whoever did that. And it wasn't anything intentional, but that isn't going to stop the Spartans from having to overreact. And they have to overreact now. Based on all the shit that's happened there, every time you turn around, there's something stupid that's going on with the school. So I think they're overreacting by suspending whoever did this. And just for, to keep people from having to be all pissed off at him, I guess. Michigan State apologized for the pregame video trivia that included this. Quote, MSU will not be using the third-party source going forward and will implement stronger screening and approval procedures for all video board content in the future. Translation, we'll watch what goes up on the board before it actually goes up on the board. It was just a video that played on a YouTube channel. In fact, the person who created the video says the way Michigan State worded it was MSU will not be using the third-party source, which makes it sound like it was like a service that they paid for or something like that. No, not at all. The creator and producer of the quiz channel on YouTube, used by Michigan State, the person who actually made that quiz, said the school did not even ask for permission to use that content or to even pay him for it. Some guy made that quiz, okay? Floris von Palant, creator and producer of the quiz channel, wrote Sunday on his YouTube page. It is an absolutely normal trivia question known in an appropriate setting. So if you're playing that at home, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, wow. Boy, he sure was a bad guy. But it fucking on the big board in East Lansing, it leaves you scratching your head. You know, people are sensitive to that shit these days. Now, frankly, Michigan State should have been able to say, oh, fuck you. What the fuck? We didn't go kill somebody. It's a quiz. Shut the fuck up. It's not like we were saying, hey, everybody, let's go suck Hitler's dick. I mean, give me a fucking break. If Michigan State was smart, they'd lean into it and say, you know, we've had a lot of bad things happen to this school, but this isn't one of them. Fuck you. That's what they should say. Instead, they're bending over and taking it right in the fucking ass. Michigan State streamed the quiz channel, which has 40 questions in its latest video. The Board of Trustees released the following statement about the incident on Sunday. The board is outraged at last night's incident at Spartan Stadium. If only we had been outraged at the start of Larry Nassar's raping. It didn't say that. The projected image was unacceptable. And as the oversight body for MSU, we want to publicly apologize to everyone who saw it. Come on. The board has spoken with President Teresa Woodruff and Athletic Director Alan Haller and conveyed to them our extreme disappointment and our demand to know how this happened. It's some zit-faced kid who just hit go. Come on. Every person in the MSU community and our guests deserves to feel safe. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they were going, oh, no, I don't feel safe because of a quiz. What an overreaction this is. You see, it's bad enough that the quiz showed, okay, no big deal, process it, move on, size of the problem. But this school is doing a Kenney here. This school is totally Kenneying when it comes to the reaction to this. Way, way over the top. We will take necessary steps to ensure that our athletic department and the administration live up to that expectation at all times. The board demands that MSU administrators thoroughly examine all the factors and actions. The previous question asked, in Star Trek, what color was Spock's blood? Would any of you gotten that one right? What color was Spock's blood? Ryan says green. An anonymous gifter has given Kenney a tier 1 sub. Well, thank Christ. Oh, my God. Baby Jesus. I might even pray Catholic. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Baby Jesus, thank you so much for having someone give Kenney a subscription on Twitch. You have saved his life, because I was under the impression that this was it. This was the big one. So thank you for saving his life and for sparing us to have to listen to him for the next month every day bitching about the same damn thing. In Jesus' name, I thank you. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Spock's blood was green. He was an Eagles fan, says Sir Bob. By the way, did you see those Kelly green unis last night? Oh, that was sweet. The Eagles, I loved those uniforms. I don't even know who won that game. I fell asleep. I think the Eagles won. Let's see. Lions lost. I know that. Spock was a green-blooded hobgoblin, according to Dr. McCoy. Spock wouldn't bother himself with MSU, who was a flawed institute. All right, we got a Trekkie in our hands here. That would be Ryan. All right. Poor Kenney left, even after someone just gave him a gift. I've had enough of this persecution and humiliation. I've had it. I'm out. I can't take it anymore. Come on, man. I'd like to go a week without making fun of you. I'd like to go a day without making fun of you. Would you quit doing shit that makes me have to make fun of you? Damn it. So annoying. All right. Thank you, as always, to A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579, Joe Martinez. If the problem is as simple as a valve to turn on, he will be coming to your house to help you like he helped me. I can't tell you how much fun I had with Joe Martinez on here the other day. Man, was he awesome. I played that for my wife. Later, I go, honey, we had a ball. He just came in here and was a riot. The man is talented. 616-516-8579, and he informed us he was kind of like sitting on a secret. So where I've talked to you about getting your furnace tuned up for $79, now you can get it tuned up, no charge. How? First, you call him, book the appointment. He shows up, tunes your furnace, and then he turns into DTE Energy, that's the gas company, that he tuned up your furnace. You don't pay anything. DTE pays him. Why? DTE wants tuned furnaces using their fuel because that all helps in lowering costs. So this is brilliant. If you've been like, well, maybe I'll get my furnace tuned up, but I don't know. I don't want to pay $79. Now it's free. Holy shit. If all of you in West Michigan don't take advantage of this, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because when your furnace is tuned up and running efficiently, you're going to burn less gas, and that will save you money. So even if it wasn't free, it's still a great idea to do this. You should do it because that keeps your furnace serviced. But now it's literally free. So reach out to Joe at 616-516-8579, and you will be taken care of. 616-516-8579. Thank you to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. That's 231-332-6505 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. You want to get into a home, get that mortgage, and get started today from anywhere in the U.S. NMLS number 3035 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. All right. Boop, 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 doo, 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 doo. Hey, did you hear you got a free subscription? Someone gave you a free subscription.
Yeah, it notified me. I was just putting in the chat that, thanks, but whoever did that, you just really shouldn't have. I just wish Twitch would get their shit together.
We know, which is why I'm calling. Don't you think it's a little strange that every time you type, you're giving us an update on how much you hate Twitch? Isn't that a little weird? Isn't that too much? Can't you just like say it and go and then just worry about it later instead of, you know what I mean? Is that asking a lot?
Well, to be fair, you had your issues and you left, and then we came back and Ryan said something and I was directing my comment directly to him. So, I mean, it was really just engaging another audience member.
Kenny.
At that point.
Kenny, go back and look at it.
I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth.
That is not. You are totally changing the history.
Bullshit. No, Ryan, back me up, man.
Kenny, hindsight being what is, do you want me to actually go back and then highlight every single? Are you going to make me do that? Because I don't want to have to do that. That's annoying. You talked about it. Kat, why is it so difficult? Why? Answer me this. Why is it so difficult to just say, yeah, maybe I was a little too torqued off. I could have toned it down, but oh well. Because then all I'd say is, no big deal. But you always dig your heels in. You always like, no. But you did do that. That's why I said it.
Well, it was some of that, but also it was some of me, talking to Ryan about his experience last month.
Okay, that was an hour in. You had mentioned it nearly every time you typed something, and I ignored it. And I said, well, maybe.
Well, I was going back and forth with them, and they're stupid, so that was extra annoyed.
So you were, but you're telling me that it's okay because you were annoyed, is what you're telling me. That's classic Kenny. It's always like, well, yeah, but I was allowed to because I was annoyed, or this happened because I was mad.
Other people? What if it's happening to other people?
What if? And I was mad, and what if? Or just let it go, and we can do the show and enjoy our time together.
I don't enjoy shit when an ad starts interrupting everything.
So there we go. It's you were annoyed, so you got to tell us. That's right. Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not the only one that ever, whenever ads start,
Kenny,
like look at every month.
Let's worry about today.
Oh, they're ads again.
Let's worry about today. Today you started the show, and within seconds you explained to everybody, and I remembered it because I read it and ignored it. Oh man, October 22nd. Now it's saying November 22nd. Now this, now that, and I go, okay, he's having a problem. Now, at that point, I could engage you, but I figure if I do that, it'll kind of derail us. Okay, so let's just ignore it. And then it's for the next hour until I had my problems. You're telling me over and over and over again about the same thing, and I'm like, why is he doing that? What is that? Why? Why do you feel that that's the way to go? Why can't you just read the room that it's just an unfortunate thing that's going to work out, but we don't need to. You know what I mean? It just struck me as, what the hell?
Okay, you said I'm telling you. No, at that point I was talking to Ryan.
Okay, never mind. I am not Kenny. I love you. I really do. I've often said, please don't clutter the chat with, various things. And you know that. In fact, it's one of the rules when a new person signs on. Don't clutter the chat. And not only are you cluttering the chat, you're just cluttering it about something that's bothering you. And then when I ask you about it, you say, well, it's because I'm annoyed.
But what if I wasn't the only one it was happening to this morning?
All right. I'm not going to get through to you. Well, now you got the free one, so you're all set. So that's good, isn't it? I mean, obviously, now there's no reason to be upset. Someone has finally said, all right, fine, here you go.
Yes, and I thank that person very much. They shouldn't have done that, but thank you.
No, they should have. They absolutely should have.
No, they shouldn't have.
I don't know. I'm glad they did.
Fucking work.
I'm so happy.
It's supposed to.
I know that sucks that happened. So, let's see. Ryan says, I will take full responsibility for all of Kenny's actions. Oh, wow. Did you hear that?
Well, that's a bit much.
Bob said there's all sorts of suggestions. I'll let you look at it when you get a second. But there's plenty of back and forth about it. But it's all good. It's all good. I think now you are on the right track.
Okay.
I think so. So I was just calling to remind you that if there's anything bothering you in your world, once or twice is cool on the chat. We don't need to stop down every minute and a half and remind us that Twitch isn't working. Maybe. I don't know. Fair? Is that fair? Maybe.
Sure.
Oh. It doesn't seem fair. You seem like you don't like that.
Well, I'm hearing you, and I feel like no matter what I say, you're just gonna be like, "Oh, it's an excuse." So at this point, I just say, "Sure."
Well, you did justify that you were justifying it.
Well, here's the thing. Whenever there is somebody that's new and they want to subscribe and then they try to get, I've got Prime, and I've tried to help them. And I try to say, it's easy. And it normally is.
Yes.
And I try to be helpful in that regard.
Yep.
But then when something that should be easy just doesn't work, it makes no sense.
It sucks. It's horrible.
Yeah.
If I
had hair, I'd pull it out.
No, without a doubt. But that's not my point.
I'm sorry for cluttering up your chat this morning.
That's my point. My point was, I get it. It's okay. I understand. I know it sucks that it doesn't work. But you can't sit there and just say, hey, everybody, you won't believe my enormous problem.
Well, I didn't do that. I never used those words.
I'm trying to illustrate.
I know that's how it came across to you. So sorry about that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm so glad that you're understanding 100% what I'm trying to explain to you and not making it weird in any way. That's my favorite part of this. You're totally rolling with it and not being standoffish. That's the best part. All right. Well, enjoy the day, Kenny. Great job today. Great job. Okay. I'll see you. Bye.
All right.
Bye. Aram says, I think Eric is the problem here. Oh, I don't know how that could be. I don't know what I did. What did I do? How would I be the problem there? Holy shit. Oh, my God. Aram or Megan says, yeah, he can't let it go. Just like Free Fire and Hot Wings. Ha ha, troll face. Ah, God. Blue State Rob says some things that aren't going to help. I'm not sure where Aram is coming from. Please explain to me how I am the problem. He's impossible to ignore. For 1 hour, I'm doing the show. And all he's doing is repeating himself over and over and over again. I can't subscribe on Twitch. Your eyes broken. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Maybe he'll punch himself out. But it's just like, never has any self-awareness. Ever. No self-awareness. Aram says, just kidding. It is nobody's fault. No, that's not true. It's totally Kenny's fault. Can you imagine if you're working with someone and his pen runs out of ink and he can't believe it because he just got that fucking pen. And for 1 hour while you're trying to work, he's in your ear telling you about how his pen ran out of ink and it shouldn't have run out of ink. Now, in all that time, he could have went and got another fucking pen, but he's just talking in your ear about how his pen doesn't work. Kenny's got the goddamn pen. Take that pen and stick it up your fucking ass. And then you say anything to him, and he's like, oh, no, I'm mad now. Goo-goo. It's Twitch's fault, for fuck's sake. He says, well, sure, it was initially. But do you do that at everything? If something goes wrong, do you just sit there and complain about it instead of actually doing something? And even if you have, and it takes some time to rectify in some way, shape, or form, sitting there and complaining about it is wasted energy. We're getting a lot of comparisons to Twitch and Z-Speed Mobile Mechanic. You know, God help you if you are working in any industry or doing anything in and around Nashville or maybe an online business, and you see an order come in from the Kenster. Okay? I mean, you got to be like, oh, fucking shit. Everybody be on guard. I need you all to make 1,000,000% sure that everything goes flawlessly with this, flawless with this pain in the ass. Because if there's, one pickle out of place on the 11 hamburgers he orders, we're going to hear about it. Ow, man! This place sucks. 1 star. The pickle was out of place, man. Ow! Bob says, I'll say it again. Just stop using Prime and sign up for the monthly. Set it and forget it. Well, whatever. I don't know. Florida man says, I'm kind of with Kenney on this, honestly. You can't be, fuckhead. It isn't so much that the problem was Twitch. We agree on that. That's not the problem. The problem is his complaining on this while I'm doing the show. That's the problem, buttfuck. Unless one of you right now is in Gaza and your house is getting bombed, all right, then you people can have a right to complain. Then you have a right to complain. Kenney does not have a right to complain that much. All right. Now people are getting annoyed with me, and that's making me annoyed. Becca Shea says, can we move on, please? Shut up. Megan, oh, God. If you weren't a sponsor, I'd ban you right now. You are complaining way more about Kenney than he complained about Twitch. Bullshit. Aram, such a dick. Such a shit stir. Kenney is a paying customer expressing a concern. He's not on my... Express it to them. Don't express it here, you fucking moron. I have an update for you on easy medical concerns. Following story is ridiculous. Friday, I went to the knee doctor. The plan was get this shot that puts a substance into my knee joint, which alleviates the discomfort and wear and tear of arthritis for extended time. I forget the name of the product that goes into there. 3 weeks ago, they said, okay, let's do that. I agreed. I was kind of dreading it because it's a big needle. It goes right into your knee, and they slowly pump this thick gel into your joint. They said, okay, we're going to double check, make sure it's covered by insurance. If it's not covered by insurance, we will call you. If you don't hear from us, just show up on Friday the 20th. So I hurried up, got my chores done here. Off I go. The plan was get my knee shot and then go to King's Room Barbershop. I even talked to you about it, about how the guy's always late, the doc. So I was afraid I'd be late to King's Room. But I was on time to King's Room. In fact, I was there half an hour early. I get there, and I'm in the waiting room. Nurse opens the door. She goes, come on in. I go, hey, how are you? She goes, not bad. We take 2 steps down that hallway, and she goes, doctor, we'll see you today. But we called your insurance, and you are not approved. Insurance is not covering your shot. And I'm looking right at her like I'm looking at you. She goes, I go, okay. Now, she knows what I'm thinking, because I'm thinking, why didn't you call me? And she says, we tried to call you, but we do not have your phone number. And I don't know how the fuck that happened. Isn't that the first thing you fill out when you start at like the whole new patient form? I couldn't tell you on my first visit whether I did that or not. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. So they have no way of getting in touch with me. Now, I didn't sit there for an hour and complain nonstop. I flushed it and moved on. Goldfish mentality. But I was like, okay. She goes, so you can still see the doctor. I go, well, I don't need to see the doctor. I know what's wrong, so that's okay. I don't need to see him. She goes, sorry for the inconvenience. I go, okay, I get it. How much is the shot? So I'm thinking maybe I'll just pay for it. I'm thinking maybe it's like, $30 or something like that. She goes, it's $600. I go, we can give you a cortisone shot. I go, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not there yet. I said, it's okay. I'm just going to go. Turned around and walked out of there. I'd been telling Andy over at King's Room that I might be late. So then I text him and go, I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be more than on time. I'm going to be early, Andy. So then I went to Facebook. And I typed like a 10-page paragraph about this horrendous ordeal and how awful it made me feel. Then I posted it. I felt better when everybody weighed in and told me that it was okay and I was right. Then I called the TV station and I told them about this horrible thing that happened. I asked if they wanted to do a live report on this unbelievable, unacceptable, terrible, terrible thing that happened to me. I was so damaged by this. After I got out of King's Room Barbershop, well, actually, while I was there, I called the local airport, and I hired a guy to pull one of those signs so that I could tell everyone about this ordeal, this terror that happened to me. So I hired him, and he was flying all around town. It was actually 10. It was a lot of writing, so it was 10 airplanes back to back next to each other with all of the awful things that were happening to me. Then I hired a couple of Army Rangers who jump out of a plane. A lot of aviation going on here with like smoke bombs. And the smoke bombs, it's like skywriting about what had happened. Hired them too. Then a couple of F-16s would fly and do like write the whole thing in the sky, all aviation based. I also, all billboards in Grand Rapids now are telling my tale of this brutality that happened to me. It was awful. Then I called and complained some more. I called the hospital board. I called all doctors in America to tell them of this. I had T-shirts made. Bought TV advertising. All sorts of incredible things going on now. Tyler says, did you take out an ad in the Holland Gazette next to the nameless dumpster company? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Can you believe how terrible this is? I don't know if you know this, but you can actually rent the International Space Station and put signs in space. And I did that. I went ahead and did that and complained about doing the biggest, all this injustice that happened to me with them not calling me. Now, I could have just let it go, accepted it, just one of those things, it'll work itself out. But no, why do that? I mean, if something annoying happens to you, you're better off making a big deal about it to everyone who doesn't give a fuck. So Ryan says the amount of money spent on advertising the fault versus paying for the shot. Yeah, I spent $700,000 or $800,000 to tell everyone that doctor didn't have my phone number, and I was complaining. Kenney says he's lost. He writes, I'm lost. I missed a few minutes. Oh, it's nothing. It's no big deal. Anyway, that finished. So I'm no better off. Yesterday, I woke up early. Go to the doctor. This is CT scan day to figure out how big the leaking cancerous tumor is in my bladder that is now leaking to all of my systems, riddling my body with cancer. I almost said Kenney. Cancer every minute that I speak. This is a quick process. In and out. She says, okay, you're just going to get that. And I think she was a she. There might have been something going on there. I didn't ask. In fact, I shouldn't even say she now. This person. I suspected there could be something going on there. The person says, keep your eyes on my chart. We'll let you know the results. My chart is the greatest thing in the world because the doctor doesn't even have to tell you, hey, your body is riddled with cancer. It just shows up because the results of the CT scan, you're going to get it when the doctor gets it. So you open it up and you look at it and it says tumor, size of football, prescription, buy coffin. In the old days, doc calls you and says, oh, yeah, you got cancer. Now you just go, let me just see. It's like getting a text message. Hey, you're going to die. So that happened. Now I wait. He said, this person said, it'll be here. We're a little behind. So it'll be interpreted and then they're going to send it to you. Tyler says they can block that ability if they're concerned the patient may kill themselves or something based on the results. Oh, no. Ryan says my chart is great. I can now Google all of my problems rather than not understand any of them as they are told to me. Yeah, really. You just say, oh, okay, tumor. Okay. Malignant tumor, 30 centimeters. All right. So, and I think I'm okay. I did try moves on the Queen of the Forest. Now, I need to express to you this. I did have some jizz success. Now, it had been a while since that area had been hurting, since I actually threw it in her. So, because of that, jizz volume should have been like 3 or 4 quarts, which would have been so much fun to play in. Who's on team playing your own jizz? But, okay, it did. Now, I haven't jizzed in forever. But because I hadn't jizzed in forever, I was still able to jizz. So it's like the volume overpowered everything. Now, look, I also, because of that medicine, jizz pumping is reduced. So the volume and distance were not the same, but we did have jizz. So I know that this needs to all be expressed to you because a lot of you have been wondering what's going on with my jizz. Chris in Maine says frothy expulsion like Pompeii. Megan writes gag. Maureen writes thumbs down. There's been a lot of people very worried about this, so I wanted to be totally upfront with you because this show is a tell-all. Glad I turned this on my speaker instead of headphones so Mom could enjoy this today. Oh, absolutely. More people need to be aware of these things. Now, what would be annoying is if for like an hour and a half of the show, I kept repeating the same thing over and over again. Like complaining over and over. That would be insane. All right. Speaking of shooting, we have a paintball event coming up on November 19th. That's Sunday, the Sunday before Thanksgiving. Paintball War number 23 happens at TC Paintball. I don't have a name for it yet. I would love you to be there. I'm looking for the old guard and new players, too, who want to play paintball. TC Paintball is where we will be in Grand Rapids. I would love you to reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, if you're in. If you want a great time, gather up your friends, family, kids, neighbors, whatever, and go to TC Paintball in Grand Rapids. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. Speaking of paint, Tim Mayer, Hurricane Ashley's BF, says he's going to be there. He paints for a living. He'll be part of the event at TC Paintball. Pizza party beforehand from BC Pizza. The BC-TC connection at TC Paintball. Thank you again to King's Room Barbershop for having me out on Friday. Andy and Colleen have an amazing, amazing business there, and I want you to get your hair cut at King's Room. Northland Drive, 3 locations. Northland Drive, Caledonia, and the latest location, the new location, on at 821 36th Street, Southwest in Wyoming, right next to the costume room. In fact, it's just down the street from Dumpster Divers. I walked over there to say hi to Fuckface, and I said, "Hey, I'm coming over to see you." Okay, man. And then he leaves. He fucking left. Jesus. Anyway, kingsroom.net for hours, location specifics, and schedules of where your stylist is working. If you don't have a stylist, if you've never been there before, just walk in. Make friends. You're going to love it. King's Room Barbershop. Dudes get their hair cut like kings. That's like a slug line. That's pretty good. At King's Room Barbershop. Online at kingsroom.net. The asshole of the day let's see. On Friday, I had Darla. Today, he thinks I don't know this, but we all know that this was a deliberate attempt to hijack the show. Kenney intentionally tried to sabotage the show today by making that big fucking deal, and I saw right through. I know what you're doing. Yet another example of Kenney trying to take over the show. You are the asshole of the day. Brought to you by King's Room Barbershop. Never has it been more deserved